I could tell that she knew I had my eyes set on Link, though she remained silent about it. There were male Kokiri as well. One in particular was one named M.I.A. He was the leader of the Kokiri and a dear friend of Saria and Link. He had a sense of humor, but he yet remained stern and headstrong, for he was their leader, and was responsible for their lives. It was time for the feast. Saria gestured for me to join them at the feast table. She led me to the seat next to Link. As I sat down next to him, she smiled and winked at me. "Did she plan this?" I asked myself, and then smiled. After a moment, I looked over all of the food. There was a great abundance of food to eat. There was cooked pork in a rich chestnut cream sauce,
beef stew,
cooked turkey, all different kinds of cheeses, bread and butter, cooked vegetables, and even many different kinds of fruit. My mouth began to water as I combed over the food. After I served myself, I began to eat. As I was eating, I could not help but notice that Link was watching me out of the corner of his eye. Oh my god, oh my god! I started to know, within inside myself, that Link was the one I wanted to be with. Even more so on the night when I shared myself with him. It was a warm spring night and night had just arrived. Link and I were sharing the quiet sounds of the night together. I had been seeing Link for a little more than a month. The spring festival had come and gone, and the warm weather was finally returning. All signs of winter were almost gone, and my time in Hyrule was about to end for this year. In 2 weeks I would be leaving for the city of Tarvera. Knowing this made me sad to go, since I did not want to leave Link. I had finally found someone that I truly loved, and would have to leave him behind when it was time to leave. Even Link was not happy after I told him that I would be leaving soon. When I told him, his face went from happy to a depressed one.
I'm like...
He wanted to be with me, and he wanted me to stay in Hyrule with him, but I was going to spend every last minute I had left with him enjoying it. We had remained quiet for quite some time. Then it was Link who broke the silence. "Jenna, it has been a wonderful almost 2 months with you." I watched him as he stuttered to find his words. "Even as short as it was, I really enjoyed the time I've spent with you. I wish you did not have to leave. I do not think I will ever find another quite like you." Link said, as a look of sadness appeared in his eyes. At that moment, I was on the verge of tears. I was in love with him. I leaned over and softly placed my lips on his and kissed him tenderly. Then he looked deeply into my eyes and told me he loved me. With those words, I began to cry. I had never felt this way before, like the way he makes me feel when I'm with him. He gently took his hand and wiped away my tears. Then he put his hand underneath my chin and slowly lifted my head up until our eyes met. With his hand he drew my face close to his, gently placed his lips on mine, and kissed me softly. At that moment I took the opportunity to deepen the kiss. As our tongues met, I started to feel his hands caressing my body. As he gently caressed my body, I let out small moans into his mouth. Then he moved his lips to my neck, placing sweet nibbles on it, as his hands trickled up my back to the clasp of my dress. Little by little he slowly started to remove my dress, and I felt my body quivering under the gentle caressing of his broad hands as he pulled the dress down off my legs and tossed it aside. Slowly he moved back to my lips and kissed me forcefully. His tongue began probing my mouth. My tongue slowly met his, causing it to intertwine with his, tasting the sweetness of him. Then we broke off the kiss, and I looked into his dark blue eyes as I reached up to remove the belt from around his waist.